Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Zeus, Master of Olympus. How the time has flown! We today are starting the final adventure that was released for the base game. That's this one here, the Trojan War, which probably in pop culture is the most recognizable idea, I think, as well. Like, I didn't know about the Peloponnesian War before we played this here. I did actually watch the movie Troy. I thought it was a 90s movie. I think it's actually a 2000s movie. It's got a lot of cast from Lord of the Rings in it, like Sean Bean's in it. Orlando Bloom is in it, but it's very long. I didn't actually finish it though. I do really recommend, guys, seriously pause this video, watch Troy now. If you're watching this Let's Play, like, you have a sense of all these names like Agamemnon and talking about Mycenae and all this stuff. You get the idea of the city-states. Like, the movie literally opens with a map of Greece like we've been looking at in this Let's Play. I promise it will be more entertaining if you watch it right now. Anyway, yeah, the Trojan War is what we'll be doing next. As we've been going through, as I've explained several times, it's been getting harder and harder as we go along. I do think that the devs somewhat thought you'd play these two linearly. It's been getting harder, not just because we've been upping the difficulty, so we are on Olympian, but just the missions themselves have been getting more challenging. The Trojan War is brutal. Here it says, lead Greek forces to Troy. So we're going to Troy here. If you thought we were going to be playing as Troy, no. We're actually going to be a different city, the city of Aulis. We are going to Troy to rescue the most beautiful woman in the world. And I know what you're thinking. Is the wooden horse going to be in this? Is that going to factor in? Is it going to be a quest, maybe? Actually, there's some weird trivia about that, where the official guide from the devs talks about something that doesn't actually exist, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, to rescue the most beautiful woman in the world, this adventure is extremely challenging and consists of 6 episodes. And, yeah, their guide makes it sound absolutely brutal. So we're going to need a good setup. So just before we go in, I want to take us back to free play. Oh, I didn't have to do that. Let's go open play sandbox here. Because I want to show you guys the principle behind our primary housing block for the new town, which will involve a little bit of a logic about how walkers walk. I referred to this very briefly in the last adventure. So this will be our main block. This will be like the heart of the city. Now, there's some crazy designs. Just to be clear, when we did that design with the annex, that was already pretty optimized. That was about 55 houses that we had in there. I didn't actually go through and count, but we got around 55. We had to shorten the road a bit. It was somewhere around there, maybe around 50. The heart of this city is going to be 76 houses. So we're considerably bigger. And believe me, they get even bigger than that. They go up to like 90 and stuff. So anyway, 76. This design is from 2001. And it's on a really cool principle. Something that those very astute of you watching this might have wondered to yourself. So what have we demonstrated so far? Well, okay, hold on. First, here at the lab, we're going to need a couple of people in a shanty town to fuel our people. And you know what, let's use as well to our advantage a watch post so we don't get any crime. Christ knows how long we'll be here. So while they move in, right, so what have we demonstrated already? Well, there are kind of 2 main housing block styles. First is the line, which I used a lot of in early episodes of this series, and this is kind of a simple principle. So let's make a really long line to show this off here. And the line essentially says, okay, well, what we'll do is we'll have services somewhere in the middle of it, like this fountain, like this maintenance worker who will keep the fountain going. And what will happen, let's get everybody to move in here, is when they spawn, they'll do something of a tick-tock motion. First, they will come out and they will move all the way along to the north of their road, or wherever they're trying to get to. I'm amazed he actually made it all the way there. This is a bit like the raceway we did, right? And then on their next spawn, so that was a tick, and then on the next spawn, they will do the tock. And they will cover everything by going up and down, up and down, up and down. And we could have houses all the way along here. You know, we can have a house, assuming the water fountain person gets to it, over here. And we can have some houses all the way over here. So this design's okay. You do get a lot of houses out of it. It takes, obviously, a lot of space. The advantage is that you can wriggle it around things. Like, we use this for elite houses a lot. It can conform to a lot of geography. But what I want you guys to focus on right now is the whole tick-tock thing. So they're ticking right now, the water fountain guys, and they'll tock. And by the way, let's just remember as well that the water carriers and the infirmary workers have slightly different AI to a lot of other people. This maintenance guy is fairly random. He might go tick, 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 tock. And then tock, tock, tick, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, 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 tick. He might do that, and then random stuff will break, as we've seen in various things. We also know that there's kind of this thing where sometimes when we do the other housing style, which I guess I'll show you now, they can settle into a rhythm. The other style is the block. The block is actually what the game tutorializes us to use. The principle of the block is that what we do is we double the distance that our people... Now, I've drawn a small block, so it doesn't really demonstrate it very well here. But we double the distance that they walk, because when they get to the bottom here, like imagine if this was drawn out in one straight road, when he decides he wants to go home, he has a new shortest path home, and he'll travel and service a whole other side of the house. So in a way, we've kind of doubled our housing here, because people move further on every single spawn. But we're not going in two different directions, so really it's kind of a wash, actually. Like, you do get a bit more houses, especially with the corner check and stuff. You can get more space, but the real advantage of a block is it's very stable. And when you have lots of different kinds of walkers that go different distances and stuff, this is very consistent with how people will move around. Another thing to think about is appeal. Appeal, when you do a block, if you put some appeal in the middle of the block, you can like double, triple, quadruple dip on the, the appeal that is generated. Like if we put a monument in the middle, it'll hit all the buildings around there because they're all clustered in kind of a tight space. If we did a really long line and you put a monument in the middle, it's not going to hit all of the different houses. So it's important to note that tick-tocking can still happen with a block. Now, for this maintenance worker, it's not. He's found his rhythm, and he's constantly going clockwise around the square. But there are ways we can manipulate this. So let's get into some slightly more advanced walker movement here. He's going clockwise. Now, that's interesting, is it? If we put him here, you'll find he also goes clockwise. Well, what if we want him to go counterclockwise? Believe it or not, that is... And by the way, they will infinitely just spin like this. Believe it or not, that is totally possible by changing which flank of road we put the building on. If we put... So this is with the northeast and the northwest. They'll go clockwise. If we go for the southeast or the southwest... Now watch these two, and we won't go too fast because there's going to be a lot of guys running around. These guys will go counterclockwise. Now, isn't that quite interesting? Now, these walkers with these very long routes, you can expect to act this way. I believe culture workers are completely chaotic. We know that the Agora worker always goes like shortest path first, but you can manipulate the direction these guys are going in based on which area of the block you put the building. But again, they are always they're not tick-tocking. They have a very clear rhythm that they are always doing here. However, when it comes to the water fountain, I guess we'll leave one maintenance person here. There's a similar thing at play where if we go to the northwest and we watch these water carriers come out, they will always spin clockwise. You see these guys spinning clockwise here. And this is true for infirmaries as well. If we come down here, you'll see that they go counterclockwise. But for these two, if you pick the other two flanks, this one or this one down here, either of those, they become random. These guys will actually tick-tock. They'll go left, they'll go right. And remember, these are the shortest walkers. So this is actually important that this is possible to do this with these guys. And I'll show you why with our design in a second, our absolutely massive design. So here they picked clockwise. Now, if you watch, that time they picked counterclockwise. And now they went clockwise. And now they'll go counterclockwise. And to be clear there, as you just saw, this is random because they just went clockwise twice in a row. So you can't completely control it, but they're tick-tocking. And that is actually somewhat useful, and we've taken advantage of this accidentally with some of our housing blocks in the Let's Play before, where I've made it too big, right? It's too big for them actually to get so far that they choose a new road home. And now the tick-tocking is of massive value to us because they'll go the other way. Essentially what you're looking at here when it's too long, this is essentially just a line design again. It's a curved line. That's what we've created here. That then we've arbitrarily connected to sort of fake a block. As far as the water carriers and infirmary workers are concerned, the other walkers might still be making or whatever, but we are at the end of the day limited to the lowest moving walker here. So, remember, we have the two designs. We have lines, we have blocks. Now, if you're kind of smart, you may have identified that there's something about the line design. There's something the line is demonstrating, and it's exploiting a benefit in its quest to get as many houses as possible. The block, let's do a normal block here as well, because this is technically a line right now. That a block does not tap. And what is that benefit? Well, it has to do with how regularly things need to be serviced. Right, let's take these houses here, okay? Let's watch our water walker. Oh, Zeus is visiting us, and he's spawning at the fountain because of the appeal. So, if we see here, this guy needs water, right? He needs a little bit of water, he needs a little bit of water. He gets it. He's been provided water on this spawn, on the tick. Now, these guys are going to leave. They're going to go tock now. They're going to go down the other way. And he gets no water, but it's fine. What the line design actually demonstrates to us is that the walkers don't need to service a house every single spawn. They only need to service houses, you know, quite irregularly, and we're using water as an example here, but for all the stuff that they need. In fact, it might even be way less than one spawn. It might, you know, they might even need only one every 3 or so. If you think about when we did the Force Walker at Corsaira, that went, you know, they didn't need water for ages and ages and ages. Food and stuff's a little bit different though. So let's imagine this is an Agora here for a second. So what this is demonstrating is they don't need commodities every spawn. Now we gain a lot of value and stability out of a block, but they're also being serviced more than they need to be. Like if we have a house down here, okay, he gets this water. He's fine. Well, they're going to go back to him now. That's unnecessary. And then he'd get it, and that's fine. But this spawn here is unnecessary. All this movement they're doing here could be going to other houses. There's untapped potential here. Basically, what if we could have our cake and eat it too? What if they serviced a different block each time? Instead of servicing a different line each time, where they'll only go a certain distance and come back, what if they service a block, squeeze out extra distance because it's a block, but they go elsewhere? What if, basically what I'm saying is, what if we did 2 blocks at once? What if we could get them to do this block, and imagine these are big. We could do this block down here, and then this block up here. What if we made a double block? Well, it is possible. This is the figure of 8, and it is very tricky. There's a lot of like mechanics to figure out on exactly how to make this work, because if we watch here, the walker directions are going to be kind of chaotic. This is why I was just talking about walker AI. You have to be careful about where you put your buildings, how you put them, and even what like flank of the figure of 8 that they're going on. But oh god, this is satisfying to get right, and I want this marvel of engineering to work as the heart of our city in this really hard adventure coming up. So let's build it, shall we? Here's what we're going to do. I've done a couple of versions of this video where now we go straight back to the parent city, and I'd like to do that, but then I won't be able to like super speed to show you the actual walkers moving. You won't see the engineering in action, and it's kind of lame. So we're still in free play here. I'm going to build it, and then what I'll just do, let's just imagine, guys, that we're in the main adventure right now, and then I'll just cut it in a second, okay? So what we're building, this is literally it, okay? Just imagine that we're in the other map right now. So what are we going to do? Well, first we're going to make a housing block, and we're going to make it 5 houses wide, because this ultimately, and these will be offset, these 2 on the outer sides. What this will do is, this will give us one wide enough that we can put some avenues, some boulevard down. Importantly, an agora is going to go in the middle here, and I do love my centralized agoras. And it will fit really nicely with 5 wide, okay? So, well, we got to build our path. Remember, these walkers, the infirmary and the water guy, they're the shortest. They go 27. It cost me 5 in Olympian to place some path, so we're going up to 135. Now, I did mention in a recent video that I'd read a comment online that 135 wasn't safe. So here's our 135. That actually you want to go to 125. Well, check it out. When we build on the other side, the other flank is the 125. So I think that that's what that comment was going on about. I know 100%, and we've talked about it a lot. This is what you're looking at here is the perfect max-sized ring for infirmary and water carriers. They will go around this ring, no questions asked. So don't worry about it. 135, and then just it's 125 on the other bit because you're not paying for these 2 corner pieces, right? You paid for those on the first time through. So there we go. We have our initial block, fairly normal right now. Let's put the agora in. And so the benefit of doing a block is we have already basically doubled the distance that a water carrier or an infirmary walker will go. Well, let's quadruple it now. Let's build another block down here. Now, this other bit is technically it's going to have to be shorter, and I could just make it shorter straight away, but I'll demonstrate to you guys the whole thing first. So we're going to come out and we're going to go 135 again. We're going to connect, and it's even cheaper here because we already had this bit of the agora done. So now we have our double block. We have quadrupled the distance that these guys will go. They'll probably want a little bit of maintenance, so let's have it somewhat central. Now, the maintenance walkers, they go a really long way. You know, sometimes he's going to choose to go right, and he'll hit the whole block. Sometimes he'll go left, right, whatever. He will get them all. He's not really a problem. And in fact, you know, we put a watch post into this design or whatever, he won't be a problem as well. So he will keep everything maintained as long as we have him somewhat central. The question is, where do we put the fountain? Where do we put the infirmary? Well, simple logic should tell you guys, we want them central to this middle bar. So that, you know, if they come out near the bar, they'll sometimes go left. If they come out near the bar, they'll sometimes go right. Let's put some more houses in here as well, because we actually need employees to show this off. So, So let's just do that, okay? I'm going to put a water fountain as close as I can to the bar in the middle, and we will see what they do just immediately off the bat. Well, here we go. So they went up, but they never made it all the way around the loop. Huh. Well, let's see what else they do. They go down, and they never made it all the way around the loop. So now they go through the Agora. They're definitely not going to make it all the way around the loop. And they go up, and they never made it all the way around the loop. So they're being kind of odd straight away. Well, the infirmary may demonstrate why this is a bit weird even more so. The problem is that we want to ensure that the tile they pick to leave the building is dead set in the middle of the block, right? We want them out on this tile. This specific piece of path is where they need to spawn, and yet the whole building is obviously really wide. Well, we know our logic for how they exit. He's probably going to be on the very bottom corner there, so we could shift the whole building up a little bit so that that's flush with the entrance to the Agora. But that doesn't explain why they're not making the whole loop right now. And so what's happening here is, I think there's a bit of a mechanic where if you give them lots of choices of path, even though ultimately he's only going to use that lowest one, because he has all 4 of these that he's up against, they're like being immediately subtracted from his actual walking route length, and that's why he's not making it. We need only 1 square for them to leave on. Now, that hasn't been a problem for us in the past because we've usually been putting infirmaries on corners where we can have it coming out directly just on that one piece of path. But now, well, we don't really have a choice. It's in the middle. It's got to be in the middle. So here's where the first little bit of tricky gameplay comes in. Well, you might think, well, okay, here's a clever thing. We could put a bit of path outside, right? We could beautify the inside like so with some benches or whatever, right? It doesn't really matter. But now that this path is here, we can force them to specifically only ever come out onto this one piece of tile, because they're going to come out, they'll move, and then they'll start picking random directions to go. And the maintenance guy throws one thing away, so it's still all right, you know, like he'll still be able to maintain these things perfectly fine. But the problem here, and so if we look now, well, that seems okay, but they're still not getting around the blocks, and the reason they're not getting around the blocks now is because we've pushed it to its limit, and we've added this 1 extra square here. This extra square is path that they have to walk on anyway, and it's kind of ruined it. And we don't want cart walkers walking along this random piece of path, do we? So what do we do? What is the solution here? Maybe you guys can think of it. Pause the video if you can think of one. It is very clever. It's very cool. It's another way of utilizing some beautification. And, well, I'll show you. So if we delete this path, let's think again about Avenue and Boulevard. Now, I haven't talked about this in this series. There's a technique that some people use with, like, growers' lodges, where if you think about Boulevard and Avenue, they kind of teleport your walkers. Because if I put some Boulevard there, and if I say, you know, that we have a... well, we can't put a tax office down. If we have a gym on the inside... Now, people never walk on the bits that are beautified. They'll never walk on them. Yet, it does count as path. So what the Avenue does is it teleports. This gym guy, when he walked out, he teleported over the trees. He didn't technically waste any movement on them. He zipped across. And you can use this for, like, really minor efficiencies in different industries. Here, we can use it in a super cool way where we can put Avenue there. The water fountain will now be connected to the road, but will teleport past that tree and will be immediately on the block, perfectly aligned with the Agora where we want them. How clever is that? Now, that's amazing, except, hold on, we can't just place a single piece of Agora down, of avenues down, sorry, that's not going to work. We need to do at least 2. So we'll drag 2 across here, and then over here on the infirmary, so that's being very weird. We'll do 2 over there as well. And so now, if we watch the walkers now, okay, they are being plonked straight onto their routes. Let's watch these water walkers, because that infirmary guy's not going to make it. We watch, he's traveling up, he's traveling up, he's traveling up. Will he make it? Oh, I'm so nervous he won't make it. Oh, he gets around the corner and he goes. There you have it. So the water walkers are now making it on the top half of the loop. And just to call back to what we learned about going clockwise, counterclockwise, the randomness, we've also built on the southwest flank here, which means they have a chance instead to not just do the top loop, they'll do the bottom loop. And likewise, we know from what we demonstrated a second ago, this logic will work for the infirmary workers too on the other side of the block, because that's also a safe flank for them to be building on to do tick-tocking. For the bottom half, now I just said, I mentioned a second ago that... this bit technically needs to be a little bit shorter. I think there's something going on, and we can watch, well, let's bribe away Sparta here, who are trying to invade us. If we watch this guy, he should get all the way around, no problem. The north is fine. Now for the south, there you go, he's made it round. So this top half of the loop, perfect, works, brilliant. Now over here, they're going to get here and they're going to turn around. I think what this is when they chose to go in the other direction, it still spends a tile of movement in their AI or something. I don't know exactly, but it happens with the infirmary as well. So we need this one to be short, and in fact, I think it needs to be 2 shorter. Let's see. Does he get all the way across? Yeah, it needs to be 2 shorter. So, I don't know. Maybe you guys in the comments can clarify what the difference is with the lower half here and why the walker logic. I would love that. If I ever get a comment on that, that would be so cool. Of course, in a couple of years, will I remember all the crazy minutiae that we're going into this when that comment finally comes in. But yeah, I think it's because they spend a block of movement, like, it's like if we had them, you know, sometimes you just see, like, when they're going to go one way, they quickly bounce, they quickly move left, and then they go right or something, and I think that's lost them a little bit of movement. So we shave the lower block in a tiny bit, and now look at this, we have a double block, guys. We have an absolute max-size block here, a nearly goddamn max-size block there, but we can use, you know, other techniques to, like, squeeze extra houses out, like the corner chuck and stuff, if it's ended up at an odd amount. And, yeah, we have 2 fully serviced massive blocks. This is how we're going to get that whopping number of over 70 townhouses here. Oh, even he turned around there for a second. Let's watch this. See, this is what I can't do if we're in the actual adventure. Obviously, yeah, he's still not making it. We need to go 3 in. We need to go 3 in for the... Oh, no. Yeah, we do. We need to go 3 in for the infirmary. It might have something to do with whether they're on the north face or the south face as well, whether they decide to go clockwise or not. But there you go. So he moves all the way in here. And they have it. There's also, by the way, the fact that there's a difference here, north to south, might be why that forum comment, someone believed that the max size was different to what it actually is. But if we copy this design very, very carefully, we'll be good. Now, there's another question, though. We need culture for all of these people. Well, what's really cool about this avenue that we were forced to do 2 of anyway, remember, culture walkers walk a little bit further than others. So we could easily just say, let's put a gym and use the same teleportation trick there, and let's use a podium. And this city's going to be good, you know? We'll have a stadium somewhere else, and we'll have max efficiency. What might be nice, though, because culture walkers are really kind of weird with the way that they move around, what might be nice is we give them their 3rd piece, just for a bit of stability. And to be honest, I've done far too little theatre gameplay. I want to see on this run that our culture stats get really high. So I'll probably give them a theatre. And in fact, I've seen a design online much like this that has a theatre somewhere near here. And, you know, we can use the avenue trick to throw it in as central as we possibly can as well. So there you go, guys. There's a lot of cool little mechanics there, right? That's the design. Yes, there's a bit of randomness in it, but as we know, you know, they might go tick, 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 tock, and that will still be enough for people to get their water. This should be stable, especially with the 3rd piece of culture. So yeah, we'll now go and we will start the adventure, we will play, and exactly what you're looking at here, I'm just going to transpose into that map. So we haven't really lost anything in terms of like runtime. So yeah, let's go on in, let's see the story. So, the Trojan War, extremely challenging, 6 episodes, we're rescuing the most beautiful woman in the world.
The conversation at the dinner table turned from the subject of the city you were on the verge of establishing to the fair Helen, beloved of everyone in Greece, who was about to choose a husband. Odysseus said,
"Let us all swear an oath to protect Helen from harm, and to support the man whom she chooses as a husband. We owe her no less. We shall name the oath after Helen's father, and call it the Oath of Tyndareus."
All shouted in assent, and Odysseus administered the oath to each person. Everyone was too busy celebrating to notice that Odysseus did not take the oath himself, but the hero wouldn't have less than noble intentions.
You dog.
Now that the festivities are over, you must return to your land to begin building the kingdom of Aulis in earnest. Soon your city will match the cities that your friends Agamemnon, Odysseus, and Ajax lead. You can count on your friends sending you city-warming presents to help you start your city.
Hey, so we start with some friends. You know, I'm really curious how this story lines up with the movie. Actually, I don't know how historically accurate the movie is either. Like Gladiator is famously not very historically accurate. I don't know, but like Odysseus, I'm about half an hour, 40 minutes into it. It's like 3 hours long. So I just met Odysseus, played by Sean Bean. Orlando Bloom just stole the beautiful lady with the amazing boobs away. I mean, they're not spoilers. This is early stuff. I think that was Helen. I don't know. I've met Agamemnon. Anyway, yeah, so what have we got here? Produce 64 sheaves of wheat in 1 year. 16 amphorae of wine in 1 year. We're producing these on site. That's good. So we get our own wheat. Ugh, more wheat. 1,000 people in townhouse or better. Treasury of 5,000. Now, you'll notice here that these aren't anything we can really control. It's not a hero. It's not stockpiling. It's not a button we will be able to press to end this. So, I think we're going to avoid the wine industry until we're ready. And because this is going to be so hard, I think famously, you want to build up cash, good amounts of cash in these early episodes. So that's what I think I'll do here. All right, let's move on in with episode 1, The Oath. To the city. And let's pause straight away. So, a little something that I've been messing with the options in the middle of these 2 episodes. Would you guys believe, right? I've tried to read a good amount of this game. I've tried to give you some cool tips, look at the mechanics and things, see what people are saying. There's that amazing forum, Zeus Heaven Games. It's so good. And I've used that forum a good amount, but I've always been a bit weirded out by it because sometimes I've found threads from Google and I can't find them on the front page of the forum. And I swear I had the craziest experience last night. It was like discovering gold, right? I realised, because, you know, some forums, it's like if you're not a member, they'll lock off a bunch of pages and you can't see stuff, and I assumed that's what they were doing. But no, it's that their forum defaults to you can only see the last 20 pages or something. Oh, sorry, the last 20 days of discussion, which, as you can imagine, is basically nothing, considering everyone's on Reddit now and the game's so old. It's kind of amazing, actually. Here, look at this. This made me laugh the other day. I was reading the forum, and someone responded to someone else and got this as a response that, yeah, it's been 17 years. I doubt they'll respond. And that itself was like 6 years ago now. But if you actually go to the box there and you change that 20 to all, it will give you all the threads lifetime. So, between this adventure and the last, I've learned lots of fun new things about the game and remembered fun new things about the game. One of them, in fact, is in the options menu, messages. Okay, so these were all set to on originally. Wow, full, yeah, they're all by default on full. So as we've been playing, we've been getting all this pop-up spam, especially when I super speed. Well, so this is the default, so we can turn some of this stuff off now, okay? For example, gods visiting us, mythology messages, I think is well regarded as you don't really need to worry about it. So hold on, yeah, here we go. Oh, mythological invasions. I probably want to know about that. Well, let's see what condensed looks like for that. For foreign changes, yeah, that's good. That's usually like story news. Mythological news, for example, we'll turn it off. You'll still hear the voice acting, it will still cut in, but you won't get a pop-up, which is nice. Invasions, it would be nice to know about. Gifts. Yeah, the games, I don't know. Let's do condensed, because do we really care about the games that much? Requests, trade changes, world news, tributes. Tributes I'll put to condense, or maybe off, because at the end of the day, they can be a little bit annoying. Maybe condensed means you just get the mini message at the top. So we'll see. So there you go. So yeah, messages, I did want to show that off, and that's why we're going to be getting less as we go along. Look at this. We only start with 3,200 drachma. Oh! So welcome to all this. We're going to turn that 3,200 into all the riches you could ever imagine. Question mark? Here we are. We're here. Ruled by us, Potatoes, who is not in the movie. So who have we got? We got Ithaca, Lemnos, Mycenae. So he's helpful. He likes us. Agamemnon. Let's say he's our brother. And we have Sparta. They're our ally as well. Menelaus. And they like us. Now, Troy up here, this is quite cool. So, the Trojans have their own unique icon. It only appears in this adventure. They're only here, as far as I know. I think they might even have their own army icons. I can't remember from that sheet, that impressions game, like, quick cheat sheet thing. But yeah, they have a totally unique looking city. They are our ally at the moment, led by Priam. And I guess we'll see how this story evolves. Miletos, Ethiopia are here. Now, as far as trade's concerned, we get crap tons. Look at this. 3 trading posts, but loads of piers. So, oh, well, let's look at the geography. Okay, so here we are. So, the opening road, this is a big one. We got some wolves stalking the entrance to the city. Now, that's interesting. There's a way we can deal with that. Which is, oh, we don't have military. If we get some walls and we put like a tower there, we can actually shoot them down with the tower with the archers if we're manning people at them. You can't man individual towers, it's all or nothing. So if we have a billion others elsewhere in the city, that's not going to be a very good strategy. But for the start, that'd be good, but we can't build them. I don't know, maybe we put a watch post there to defend people coming in and out. We got some marsh and some boar, which we can hunt. So let's see. So industry, we have wheat, but that's one of the goals. So I'm going to try to ignore the wheat for now. We have growers' lodges for grapes, which is excellent. That again is one of the goals. We can make our own olives, and we can do our own fleece. Okay, we don't have much money, but we have both primary industries for ourselves. That means like limitless housing, essentially, right? You know what they never play with that I've noticed as well here? Culture. You always get the same culture. Well, except Stadium is sometimes locked off. I think that's interesting. You know, in the expansion Poseidon, there's a bunch of different culture. And when I watched the Let's Play of Poseidon, by the end of it, what I wanted more than anything else was a campaign that had both Greek and Atlantean culture in the same thing. I think that'd be so cool. Because, you know, once you're deep enough in Poseidon, you end up missing the theatre and the drama school and stuff. But anyway, okay, and mythology. Well, let's keep going along here. So here's the south view. A lot of marsh. We have a meadow over here. And we're coming to my favourite thing about the map now, okay? This map is massive, right? Look at all this water out here. Look at all this water. Now, I spin us to face north again. Look at all of the water. This is amazing. But the best thing about it is there's an island on the other side with a meadow and a ton of boar. Oh, these are wolves. We can't eat wolf, right? But there's more boar there. And you might think, oh my god, and look at this. You might think, well, how can you actually utilise that? Look at all this water. How can you utilise the island? Well, you actually can, my friends, because there is this tiny, tiny little island which will support a max length water crossing. See that? And then on the other side, a max length water crossing will go there. So you can build your way to the other island. And there's no like ferry boat mechanic or something. Oh, wouldn't it be cool to have like a building on there as well? So that's our first little bit of money that we're spending, getting access to this. I would quite like to live here, because there's immediate food. But we will be moving a lot of goods over. What if we live here, and we have them travel across the water to give us our food as quickly as possible? So it's quite a long walk, but if we're doing wheat, and like I said in that previous episode, they only produce once per year, that doesn't really matter too much. But then we could fish as well, actually. We could just fish along here to feed the people early on. Now, wasn't there another meadow, though? We could be right up here. This would be where the trading posts have best access. Oh, and there is a meadow here, actually. I don't know. I want to use the water, though. Let's use the water. Okay, so I guess that means our housing block will be about here. So I'm going to draw it out, and I'm going to cut. You've already seen me build this. I'm building the exact same thing. I'll build it, like, up and nice. Let's build it. What else are we ever going to do along here? So let's start it somewhat, like, up here. This might be nice. Okay, so you've already seen me build it. I'm just going to build it again. Oh, well, we need to do 5 houses first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like this effect as well, by the way, with the infirmary right next to the gym. I think that's really cool. Now, if we want to do the theatre thing, I guess we'll put one in. So, please fit. Oh, it does fit. Yeah, excellent. Employees needed. Oh, wow, we have the speed way too high. I feel like the speed's being really weird lately. 70% is what I determined was good normal speed for the game. Okay, cool. So, maintenance post. We'll need tax, but we'll need a palace for that. Let's get some more housing plots in. So, what I would like to do first is just have one loop happy, and then we'll fill in the other one as we go. But if we do one loop first... There we go, that's nice and even there, that's so good. If we do one... Oh, wait, for the inside here, so we never quite got this far. Are you not going to let me undo that? Yeah, okay, good. What we'll do is... well, actually, for the outside as well. Oh, God, we just wasted all that money. We'll avenue along this. Okay, sorry, boulevard along all of this. Well, what we can do, actually... Oh, there's a fire there? Oh, only because he wasn't working yet. That fire looks so horrifying, I'll tell you. That's crazy. Maybe they don't have enough workers. So since we can fit 3 on the inside there, we'll have 3 on the inside, and then we'll boulevard our way down. And we'll boulevard our way down there. Which means that on the inside, we have these 2 perfect clean rows like this. Oh, we'll probably want to avenue that instead of boulevard right there. One little piece of avenue there. Nice. So we'd be looking at avenue to finish this off, avenue to finish this off, and a row of houses all the way along. No road out, and no road out here. We can put one Oh, you don't want me to do that? A helping hand from Ethiopia. Oh my god, we've lost so much money already! Oh my god! You've noticed we could use some money? Please, I'm only building a normal housing block here, as far as I'm concerned right now. Well, we'll leave that as is for now. I'm pretty sure the corner trick will work there. It would be cool to get a road out up there, but what else am I ever going to use it for? Like, what if all the fishing is happening up there? Oh, that does actually lead me to another element of this. Oh, yeah, well, you need a road out. Probably... So, I think I've seen... Oh, no, that house is fine. Oh, God. We don't want to delete things that don't need to be deleted. I think that house is fine, but this one here... Yeah, okay. Here's what we'll do. We'll bring a road out here with a road block so that nobody messes with anything. Now, just to explain what was going through my mind here, if we had put... It would obviously be nicer to put the road right up against that infirmary, because then it would be close to the Agora. But by putting it against the infirmary, I'm worried that it will do that thing that we did the whole avenue trick to avoid, where it will confuse the AI, take spaces away from their patrol or whatever. So we have a house right up against it, and the earliest possible place, therefore, is here. Then when we lay these houses in, it will go the one over, and it's nice and good. And the granary and stuff can be right here. Now, behind this needs to be some kind of beautification, so I'll just use that as a spacer for now, because the granary is going to make things very ugly, but I need the granary close. So that's how early we're starting out here. This might be too big, too quick. How many helping hands are we going to get? Are we just going to go into debt anniversary straight away? Well, we got to buy a palace as well. Remember, we've got a 2k drachma cap before we're totally done for. Oh, it's such an optimistic, nice story, and yet it's a brutal start, really, isn't it? So where would the palace go quite nicely? I think impressions say there's some kind of mountain that's, like, well defended. Maybe you could use... I don't want to go down the mountain. I don't know where they'd attack us from. It would be awesome to be on the island. But what if, like, look at how long it takes to get across all this water. But what if a navy assaults us? That wouldn't be very nice, would it? Well, let's have the palace in the lower block for now, since we know it's going to be maintained. And we'll just move it later. So with that done, we can put the tax office in. Okay. We do not have many funds. Now, we could also... Could we try and blag for food straight away to get us going if we have lots of friends? Like, this guy sells cheese, and he's helpful. So, please, may I have cheese? So that we evolve immediately? And if people give you fleece as well, this guy is our helpful friend, and he gives us fleece. If he gives us fleece and he gives us cheese... So, there's a thing about taxation, right? You know how the more that the houses evolve, the more that you can tax them? Like, we've explained this a few times. Well, did you know that the biggest bump in terms of tax money that you can get is fleece? As soon as you have a bit of fleece, the tax amount goes up by like 2.5 times. Like, when houses are at that evolution level. It's really, really big deal. So, let's do that. Now, let's shift our industry into storage, hygiene, and safety. Super high. Culture, we turn on... I could have accomplished this just by turning culture off for now. Let's just do that. That'll give us an initial stockpile of some things to get some initial evolution, to get an employment wave, which will then start working on our own fisheries and stuff. We can't do anything now. So I may have already failed. This may be over already, because I am out of money. Because they started us with almost none. So let's just play it forward and see what happens. Oh, a helping hand. Thank you. That's good. We need more people to move in. Come on, guys, quickly, before these guys give us our gifts and we have no one working in the places. Go, go, go. No, go to the nearer houses, not the further houses. What's the matter with you? No! Oh, they go to literally the furthest ones away. Okay, good, good, good. We got to see workers in here. I should have waited to request this stuff. Oh, my God, a helping hand from Lemnos. Okay, everybody's being nice. Thank you, guys. Well, it started with them all being our friends. I don't think they're our friends anymore. Argos grants cheese. 3 wheels. 3 skeins of fleece. That's nothing, guys. That's... Oh, dear. Do I evolve people on 3 things of cheese? I don't think so. So we've got 100 people. Right, let's just see, right? 55 workers needed. 195 moving in. Actually, we're okay. Since we're not in debt, we are okay. Now, where's the road out? It's over there. So this can all be fishing and piers and stuff like that. So... Now, again, for a big town block, 5 fisheries should be good. For now, since they're not even evolved that much, I think 3 will be good. Well, no, let's do 3. And the maintenance guy can get all the way to all of those easily. And the path is short enough that hopefully you won't let that granary break. See, ideally what you want is when he does like a tock, it's short, it terminates early enough that on his bounce up, he will hit all the other stuff too. That would be the best thing. So once we got just a little bit of food for these guys and they're up to shack level, we can get on with our fleece. We can start dealing with sheep. And boy, do I have some trivia for you guys about the sheep. Oh my god, this whole thing. Now, I've been really toying with whether I should edit into an earlier episode or not. A gift of wine from Mycino, thank you. Maybe I give that to someone else. Who wants wine? Because I certainly don't want wine. Not yet. They sell wine. They buy wine. Milotos, you're sympathetic and you buy wine. Do you want my wine? I don't need that. Will that make you happy with me? Therefore, you're happy to give me some food? Let's try it that way. It's a new way of playing. We haven't done that, have we? Given our gifts away. Re-gifted. But I think it's a good idea. I'm a little worried that this palace will break, but here's a fun little thing, actually. You know how the palace has been breaking for me? Apparently, one of the weird quirks of playing on super easy mode in this game is the palace will never break. Like, the other buildings can all still break, but apparently Impressions have it set up that the palace won't. It does look good when it's just out here, isn't it? I love the red pillars and the white statues there. And then these hedges just look really good in it. Yeah, so, I don't know. That you could in theory do some weird designs with that, I guess. Oh, nice. Argos gives us a bit of money. Oh, this is nice. Look at all of our comrades helping us out. Okay, they're building the boats. Busy building a boat. Okay, that's fine. I guess they will be fishing that fish there. Doesn't matter, because nodes don't have capacities. Got a bit of a beach there. All right. Speaking of fisheries, do you guys want to be excited? Here, check this out. Mythology. The Promontory of Poseidon is available on this one. We have Hermes again. I'm a bit bored of Hermes at this point. We've done him too many times, and I happen to know that later they're going to ask for Hermes again somewhere else, so ugh. No Hermes. Hades we've barely seen, though. And I think when we did Hades before, we didn't have him sanctifying our mints. So, you know, mints are maybe a little bit unexciting, but when he sanctifies them to quadruple their output, maybe it's really good. Looking at how insanely cool Hephaestus was on that previous campaign, like Hephaestus carried Sparta, I kind of want to see if Hades can do the same now that we're using sanctification properly. Speaking of sanctification, what do you guys think Poseidon does at the Promontory? Number one, this is really cool, he will give us a kraken. Number two, he will sanctify urchin gatherers and fisheries. So we'd have to build him near the fish, which is kind of tricky because then it's got to be near the coast and stuff. I think we could do it. But here's the weirdest thing. There's another... Oh my god, gift of olive oil? That's awesome, thank you. And a gift of cheese, 8 cheese. And then wheat from Milotos. Oh my god, everybody's being awesome. Okay, we can start evolving then straight away. What's the last thing that Poseidon, and we're going to do food vendor as close as possible, okay? Like, because it does actually matter. I'm not going to have it over there, I'm going to have it here. And then the second most used commodity will be fleece, will be in the middle. The third most will be oil, will be over there. So there is some logic to where you put these. Here, let's read it, shall we? I'll show you guys. I'll let you read it for yourselves. So we right-click mythology, and then we click gods. This is really good. It's like a little wiki within the game. Before wikis were even really found the feat that they have now. And then Poseidon, Promontory of Poseidon. Check it out. When the Promontory of Poseidon is in your city, he will assign his fearsome kraken to patrol your city's waters. And we got a lot of waters here. I'd love to see the kraken sink in a boat. That would be just the most amazing thing. He will increase fisheries and urchin cays, making them more productive. In order for the city to receive benefits, it needs to be a city that can actually gather that stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Where is it? Hold on. Did I just skip it? I think just being here, it's a global benefit to fisheries and urchin cays already. And then it's talking about sanctification beneath here. He will sanctify them. While sanctifies, they will yield more seafood than usual. He may also sanctify a horse ranch, adding more livestock to the corral. Wow! So that stuff I was talking about with Ares, sanctifying horses, giving you an enchanted horse and stuff, I guess was a slightly different thing I was talking about. I was talking about creating new varieties of horses that then, you know, distribute cooler at your houses, whatever. But still, this is awesome. I want to see what a horse ranch looks like with extra horses in there. It's kind of like the Aphrodite thing. I want to see these houses with additional occupants in them. And the fact no one will ever move out, oh my god, that's so cool. So yeah, I've got to see that with a horse ranch. Now, unfortunately, because, you know, a lot of these sanctification, they just increase, like, speed or yield of things. This is actually increasing the capacity of a thing that will probably change the animation. Or I would hope it does anyway, and that's extra cool to me. Now, and maybe it's of some use to rearm your horsemen, just like we want to rearm our, you know, hoplites really quickly. If you think about it then, Poseidon is actually one of the most complicated temples to find a place to build. It wants to be near the coast. If you want to get max value out of everything, it wants to be near the coast so you can get the fisheries. But then it also needs to be near a horse ranch, which themselves need to be near an elite neighborhood. So this all kind of means you'd have an elite neighborhood near the coast with the promontory there. We've built our commoner block near the coast here. Maybe that's amendable later. Who knows? Speaking of Aphrodite, she's not here. I'm beginning to worry that Aphrodite is very rare in this adventure, and we're not going to see very much of her, but hey. Alright, so this employment wave. This should be big. They'll have the culture straight away and all that good stuff, that they're providing water and health to the palace. But that's fine. Maybe people in the palace do want that water and health, you know. So we go. We're moving in. We're evolving. Double evolving straight away, in fact. We're ready for fleece. So with this employment, let's go to a meadow. Now, I want to do the meadow over here. And let's start talking about sheep. A gift of fish from Lemnos. So, the first thing I want to show, and Milotos gave us was happy that we gave them the wine. The first thing I want to show... Oh, there's so many things I want to show. Those wolves worry me, and the boar worry me. We could get some hunters. Give people a nice varied diet. Yeah, let's do a little bit of hunting up here as well. So, we'll bring the road... Do we kill the trees so we don't have to go so close to the wolves? No, I don't think so. I think we'll do it this way. We'll have a maintenance post on the end with a roadblock. It looks somewhat nice and cozy. Do you know what's good about this game as well? It's always sunny. I guess some kind of a new edition would have like a weather system. And it would be quite the novelty to see a place be stormy or rainy. Maybe a whole colony looks like that. There's something about fixed weather that I prefer in games, though. Random dynamic weather has its benefits, but it feels like they can't calibrate the effects well enough because you never know quite what visuals people are looking at. I love the idea of, like, say, when we went to Ithaca, brutal Ithaca, that's just always storming there, you know? Anyway, right, so the hunters will probably... Let's put them really close to the wolves and see if they go for them. I don't think they will, but we'll see. So... We only have 1,000 drachma. It costs 50 for each of these that we put down. So just the two of them. Now, cattle. Or sheep, I should say. Oh, by the way, cows are a thing. They're in the expansion. That's why they talk about cows. In fact, when you look at... Oh, actually, what was it I was looking at? Was it... It's like here in Heroes, it says Achilles. Achilles, obviously a main character in the movie Troy. Hercules, Perseus, Theseus, Odysseus. But look at this. Atalanta, Bellerophon. This is Poseidon stuff. It's actually listed in all the help documents as well at the same time. And I was reading somewhere about triremes, and it was talking about, like, Atlantean Greek fire and stuff, and orichalcum and all these kinds of new things. I was like, oh, God, it's all expansion-related stuff, obviously. Okay, so what were we doing? Right. If we build a carting shed, this gives us 8 sheep, right? Oh, and we have to play it forward so it's employed, so it knows I'm allowed to place the sheep. So I'm going to place 2. Now here's apparently a mechanic in the game I'm going to save. I think I remember doing this. All this begins. Okay. Oh, I wrote beings. I think I remember doing this. Now, if we play not on pause, if you just throw your cursor on them,
it moves. Worship me, and the sea will befriend you.
Oh, okay. So Poseidon is here, wandering around. Yeah, I will worship you, Poseidon. I promise I will. So here's the thing. You can move them, but only kind of. You're supposed to hit them with your cursor. See, look. You put the cursor on them, and they'll move. Now, it's very inconsistent, and they don't always listen. I kind of, in terms of practicality, this mechanic's a bit lame. It doesn't really do anything. But yeah, maybe we could have shifted people, some of them when they were being annoying in previous playthroughs. You're not meant to click or anything, you just rub the cursor on them. I love the idea of, in a new version of this game, that was a thing for like loads and loads and loads of animals. Like all the walkers, maybe when I put the mouse over the guy, he goes, ow, or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's a thing. There's also a way to kill them very easily that's not fireballs from heaven, alright? What is that way? Well, I think it's an accident, really. First, they don't like walking on paths. So if you put a path under them, they're already like not comfortable and they'll try to get off of it. So this is another way of moving them around. See, he gets off the path real quick. Probably a more consistent way of getting off the path. But if they don't like paths, do you know what they really hate? They hate roadblocks. I don't know who figured this out or when or like, I don't know, is this in the earlier games? If you put a roadblock under any kind of like livestock that you don't want and we play it forwards, oh, it didn't work. It should kill him. I've read that it will instantly kill them if they have a roadblock under them. Well, no, he's perfectly fine with that roadblock. Really? Oh, there you go. He died. So yeah, what is that mechanic? I don't know. That's so weird, isn't it? But roadblocks will kill them. And in fact, I'm going to use roadblocks to kill all three of them here. This is a huge episode for trivia and tips and tricks, okay? Because, well, will that just work straight away? Do we need to do like 4 each time? Because it is actually costing me money to do this. I guess I'll surround them by like 6. Because I don't know what direction they might go in here. Right, we've only got 500 drachma. We have so little. It's really important we get on our feet by the end of this episode. So there we go. So that will kill both of these. They're surrounded by roadblocks. They don't know where to go or what to do, and they die. Okay, nice. So I'm going to go show you guys a trick with carding sheds now. This trick is, to be honest, it's almost like a cheat. It's kind of, it depends how far you want to push it. But it is kind of cheaty. So, what does placing a carding shed do? It unlocks sheep capacity, doesn't it? It gives us an additional capacity of 8. So if we have 2 carding sheds, we have a capacity of 16. And now 24. And now 32. And now 40. But that's a lot of carding sheds, and that's a lot of people to employ. How much unemployment have we got right now? 40 workers needed. If I want to show this trick off, we will need to employ them all here. Currently, they can't do anything because they have no animals. But I'm going to put all of these down. So that's 40 sheep we have there, right? Now, what we can do is we can build a little square of some kind. Now, I believe grapevine. People can walk through grapevine, but animals can't. So we can make a 2x2, 1, 2, so like this. A 2x2 square with just the one entrance here, with perhaps a little bit of path on it, if you like. So there's not much space in there. Now, the animals will be stuck in there. And what we can do is we can take our sheep and we can put all 40 sheep... Well, hold on. Maybe this will work, actually. Let's put the carding shed itself... I'm really struggling with the categories here. Let's put this carding shed itself there. With that path, I suppose. And that one entrance. Okay. So they got a little bit of space in there. So what we can do is we can bung the sheep into here. Not on play. And squeeze them all into this little slot. And we're going to keep clicking. We're going into debt for this, I know. Alright, there you go. Add shepherds. Now that we've got 40 sheep in there, enough for all of these carding sheds. If I come back and delete these, or shut the industry down, or whatever, we're going to delete them. It doesn't actually kill the sheep. Oh, we can delete this one as well here. It won't kill the sheep. It doesn't have employment, so hopefully this isn't a huge problem. They'll all stay there, but we have a carding shed. So now what we have is a hyper-efficient setup. Thank you, Ithaca. Oh, Ithaca gave us a helping hand. That's great. What year are we in? Oh, we're ages ago. What the hell? Oh. Sorry, drinking coffee before it gets too cold here. We are a long, long, long time ago. 1238 BC? Jesus. So this guy from this carding shed now, what does he have? He has right next to him a load of livestock. He can walk into them from any angle through the grapevine, I think. We'll watch him do that, hopefully, in a second here. And he actually, because they're right next to him, it doesn't take him long to go out, tend to them, come back in, go out, tend to them, come back in. And so usually what it's expected is they'll get 8 loads a year, 1 from each sheep. Every year they can go out and they can do it. But because he has so many available and so close to him, I think he can actually get them all. Now, they don't have any fleece on them just yet. Like, so look, they've sent 2 guys out there as well. They don't have any fleece just yet, but that's essentially a hyper-efficient carding shed. We're not going to get 8 loads a year. We're going to get, like, 40 loads a year from this. And I think you can push this really, really, really far. I think you can actually make it even twice as good as this. I think you can get 80 loads from a single shed. You can basically pay for only 1 shed's worth of employees and maintenance, I guess. But, you know, usually they'll be on a road. They'll get maintained anyway. And I hope that guy can get up there. He should be able to. And there you have it. You just got to... This is like an ultra carding shed. So this, already, I was already explaining at Sparta. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to demonstrate it very well at Sparta because we didn't even have any carding sheds for most of it. If you watched the bonus episode, you saw a little bit of... You already don't need much fleece. But with this, we have just obscene amounts of fleece, okay? What the downside to this is once you've got it set up, you kind of got to leave it now. Like, if I add more... Well, no, you could add more carding sheds, I guess, and just dump a bunch more animals back there. Shouldn't really be a problem. We could change this grapevine as well here into, you know, pillars or something and just have the 1 piece of grapevine for, like, a gate. You know, grapevine could be kind of used like a fence for us to get in and out. But, on the other hand, we've got it set up, so we may as well just start producing grapes. Now, let's see here. The goal is to produce wine every year, not necessarily to produce grapes. So we could start doing the grapes already. Can we sell grapes? Does anybody just buy grapes? Do you have Dionysus in your town, potentially? Which would mean that you like the grapes. No. Man, the way I was speaking there just made me think of, you know, like these city-building mobile games. You know, that are massively multiplayer, like all these are other players' cities. You know, that kind of trading system would actually totally work. Do you know what I think? I think that'll probably be a good game. I also think, you know, people share, like, their cities online and they show, like, the geography and stuff. The game is pre-assigning this to me. It said, here's a map. They've made the map. But imagine, like, a randomly generated world map that was just, like, infinite, a bit like Minecraft. And now imagine when you go to Reddit and you look at people's cities, what you're admiring is not just the city itself, but also where they chose to put it. Oh, guys, I found a place with some meadow and some fishing right next to it and some urchins, and there's this really cool mountain, and I built this thing. I think it would be so much more interesting. Like, the character of the towns would be great if there was that randomness there, which obviously a lot of games do now. Okay, let's go look at everything blowing up and dying back here, shall we? Actually, it seems okay. So, pretty happy with that. We're alright. Now, 15 unemployed people. A little bit of money. So, we'll have our second storehouse. And now, let's set this up with some intelligence here. We will be getting fleece. We'll be getting olive oil. 16 apiece. Both bays. And I think then I'll make a third bay. And the third bay will just be for generic stuff that people might want to give us with gifts. And it doesn't necessarily need to be here. It could be anywhere in the town, actually. Now, we could, in theory, just have houses all over the bottom half of the block. So if we want a way out... First of all, we've got to be careful. See, this is crazy. I can't even really spend money to build a lot of path now. See, like a gift of bronze here. I'll postpone that. They will work and they'll grab that. Thank you for the bronze. But, like, see, we'll bring a path out round here for fishing and maybe Poseidon can go there or something. I don't know. If we want him for horse ranches, they'll have to go somewhere else. Not sure how we'll handle that. But the other path out is going to have to be, like, along here. And hook all the way around the housing block. If we want to get as many houses, if we want to get up to the 70. And I do want to see all 70. We're kind of pushing it in terms of Agora distance. There's actually a whole world of, like, distribution that we can engage in that I've now learned about. Having accessed more of the forums. Where we really... She needs to be as close as possible if we put too many more houses in, which is one of the reasons I'm happy for the theatre to be here. We will want a drama school to evolve people and stuff. We need some kind of culture district. So culture's going to be walking along this road as well. And then it will connect to the bridge. Wow, we took a lot of this space real quick, didn't we? My god. What looks like a big field at first suddenly is not such a big field. So he will probably want on-site fleece accepting. So let's give him that. Accept some fleece here. These guys probably want on-side meat accepting, because that's quite a walk to the granary. Now, are the wolves... So this is the other thing. These wolves will want to kill our sheep, but because we've made a pen for them, they won't, which is pretty nice. They might wander over and... Okay, what is this? I can see again that your storage facilities cannot accept the items. What do you mean? Oh, and wood from Ithaca? Hold on. What do you guys mean? Oh, because that's only getting those. Okay, yeah, we need some kind of, like, storage district. And we got to employ the people anyway. Alright, I guess... I mean, we could have it be disconnected if you guys want for now. Yeah, let's put a storage hub up here. And we'll reuse this road as well. So we're slightly in debt. We'll put this storage hub here because land trade will happen here. And if we're going to sell some of these gifts, we can do that. And maybe the maintenance man's going to die to these wolves. So let's give them a watch post. They were utterly useless before, but you never know. They might be alright. They might be okay. It just said hygiene is deteriorating, but let's look. Healer recently passed by, but he hasn't passed by for a while. I haven't messed with it in any way, have I? You going to go up north? Yeah, he's going. Okay, he might have just done a bunch of weird loops for a little while, but here you go. He's tagging him. I have come down from Mount Olympus. So there's an option here as well. I tried messing with it. Speech. Like I turned speech off. But I think speech... You know when it says, "Hi, I'm Demeter. Worship me. And people will never leave your city." Or stuff like that. I thought it would turn that off, which would be really good. But it doesn't. I think it's just like the "I have come down from Mount Olympus" style thing. Okay, let's start taxing these people more, since I gave you guys the tip, since we do have fleece distribution. A helping hand. Oh my god, Milotos. Milotos, are you the person that I gave the wine to? You are. So that's probably why we got that extra money there. In a weird way, we sold the wine, but without having to build the trading post or employ anyone there, which is quite nice. More people moving in. But the employment balance is okay for now. A gift of bronze, we can accept it. The wood, we can accept. So we could sell this immediately. Let's actually look. We haven't looked at what's available. So bronze, we can import. Wood, we can sell. And the price is okay for it. But we do only have a little bit. Who would we sell it to? Kaimei produces it. Ethiopia, Sparta. Sparta buys the wood. That's interesting. We were just playing as Sparta, and I never really felt a need for wood. Remember, though, based on the time and the story of the Spartan thing, that would have been the old Sparta, right? We were like new Sparta, but we're like 1,000 years earlier now, and I guess those guys might have wanted wood. Who's to say? And that's a trading post, not a pier. Brilliant. Okay. Lots of people work there, but that's fine. That's actually good, because we've got a whole wave coming in. So we'll sell that wood. We can't sell the bronze, but we can maybe use it for something. Now, right here in episode 1, I want to build Poseidon, like straight away. That gives us the maximum amount of time to see the Kraken doing things, and hopefully it will attack someone or something. So we need to find a good Poseidon spot. A good Poseidon spot would be with the fisheries. Honestly, this is the best Poseidon spot in the town. It just is. With all that straight. But then Poseidon won't even fit there, so no, it's not. Poseidon's best spot is where we put our houses. Alright, what about here? Should Poseidon live? I mean, that is pretty cool, isn't it? Should we put Poseidon right there? There will be space for a road along the back. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, now what does he want? 2,000 drachma! 37 marble! Okay, first things first. We need some kind of export industry. What's our export industry? I think it might be wheat again, actually. Let's see. What else was available for sale? No, wheat we can only import. Meat, fish, olives. Okay, fleece is an export industry. So we can sell fleece. We can sell olive oil that we make here as well. There's no Athena to turbocharge that. Wine we could sell, but it's kind of a mission goal. Well, okay, no, but we could get on the wine, start selling it. We could just leave wheat for the last thing, since that's not of any value to us at all. Okay, so I'm going to start selling wine and fleece in order to get money. And I don't know, I'm happy to super speed a long time, go through a lot of years. It's funny, we may go enough years that it ends up the same year as the other campaigns. By the way, if you've been wondering what happens when you get to year 0, I think I speculated about that at one point. It does actually go to AD. It does. The BC turns into AD and no Domini, and it will move on up. I kind of think that's amazing. All right, so is this enough fleece? It doesn't actually look like he's getting any just yet.
I'd follow you anywhere. It's sheer pleasure living in a city like this.
A full staff of shepherds means sheep are shorn of their wool at breakneck speeds. Well, they seem to be okay. So let's start doing the wine and stuff. That's what these next people will be on. Okay, employees needed. That means we hit 0. What are you telling me here? Current food is far too little. Really? We have food for 300. And we have 600 living here. Stored food for 11 months. Alright, well, I'll continue to focus on fishing then, for now. Because it's nearby. So fish. And all of these, I'm thinking Poseidon will end up sanctifying all of them. And now it's going to be time to change our maintenance route. Possibly. Also, let's make sure we leave a bit of space. Well, I don't know. That guy can have like a gazebo, I suppose, or something. Or maybe a monument later will deal with any issues he has. We're not evolving that far just yet. Yeah, so I think there's nothing for it here. Just maintenance at the far end. No. Let's do something fancy here. Let's say fishery here and here. Let's create a crossroads. Well, not a complete crossroads. We'll do it like this. Roadblock there. Roadblock there. Destination walkers will still be able to do whatever they want. There, like that. And now the maintenance guy goes here. Beauty. So he's going to move along. I like this effect. That's really nice. He'll tag all of these.
I am Poseidon.
Could even tag these.
Me, and the sea will befriend me.
Yeah, worship you and the sea will befriend me. I hope it does. And he's tag teaming it with this other guy. And we can leave a little bit of space out here to continue doing this. It just reminds me of us. Where were we? Iolcus, was it? No, I don't think it was Iolcus. Somewhere where we put the terrible elite houses that just ruined all that shoreline. Sad times. So, fleece. We've ran out of fleece with the initial delivery load. Which is not good. Now, is my special guy not doing... Oh, there you go. He is doing it. All right, so I think we were just waiting for the first wool to come in. So he will start delivering that now. Now, the getters will be moving 8 at a time. So there's our getters. They're getting the fleece. I might ask for some more as well from anyone who produces it. Like Sparta, you're sympathetic. Will you please give me some fleece? More than 3 as well? I traded some wood to you. I don't really have much else to trade, but look, there you go. We're trading some. Is this going to kill our guy? I mean, these watchpost people would best do some work. We don't have the technology for walls yet, but we will eventually. There you go. The culture's working away. Let's speed this along a little bit. Up to 90%. And I like that they're actually working at this gym. It's just so cool, isn't it? The way we've tagged the corner here. I hope they're actually... I like that they're working the gym, even though I said, like, I put culture on really low priority, on none, and they've known to do that. Wait, does that mean these guys are working even though they don't have a drama school on a podium? It does, yeah. Well, they want that little bit of culture now. So, for the townhouses, we don't want to be too far away with our feeder buildings. Let's do a drama school. Along this road, I suppose. We only need the one for now. Lemnos gave us the fleece. Thank you. That's really good of you. Thank you. And then a maintenance post. We could have done a lot of roadblocks, but I sort of don't want to. So, the drama school's going. We'll see the guy in the angel wings come on out. He'll walk through here. He'll hit the theatre. The theatre will have its own guy spinning around. Everyone will evolve again. Taxes should be high. And we should be able to get a good amount of money. And then it becomes a question of selling fleece, and it becomes a question of selling wine. 37 unemployed people, a gift of marble from Ethiopia. That's very good of you, Ethiopia. We're going to keep that, because we're going to use that for Poseidon. So how do I make some of this wine stuff pretty? We did very well at that other place. Well, let's just say Growers Lodge. Now, they've been walking... Let's see that. That's going to change the way that the shepherd moves. Well, I don't want to make him inefficient. If he chooses to go that way, it's probably because it's the fastest way. Well, I say that. That's not always true with this game, is it? Well, whatever. A Grower's Lodge. Let's just do a couple for now. Let's do 4. And let's give them... I was going to say grapevine coming out on the left, grapevine coming out on the right. No, let's... I've put them in bad places because there's not meadow right near them. They really need to be out in the meadow. Okay, our first population milestone. Sorry, I wasted some money with that there, guys. Okay. Growers Lodge. Let's say 4. Let's put them out. Not too near any dangerous animals. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, they're going to be near the animals. This is just the way it's going to go, really, isn't it? And we'll give them a square there. We'll give them... I don't know. We'll just keep an eye on this and see how many grapes end up coming along. So then, right, what? So who do we sell the grapes to? Is it going to be a pier or is it going to be a trading post? Who is buying wine? Sorry, it was Miletos, wasn't it? Miletos is a pier, so it could all be here. It could all be in this area. That's awesome. Okay, so road along, and we'll clear these trees. I want to use more of the town. I want to come over here for the pier. But I don't want to risk the ire of the wolves. Oh, okay, hold on. I just realised what we should do. We can do a water crossing. Okay. So these guys will deposit their grapes here. I already said there, actually. No, that's for fleece. So you're going to deposit your grapes here. And you're going to have maintenance there. And that's going to get blocked. So this has now become... You have a new beat. You're going to patrol this way now, my friend. My sir, I almost said there. And then... So this will be now wineries along here. And ultimately, they will end at the trading post over here. Trading post... The pier, sorry, to Miletos. So wineries all the way. And then they'll just dump it in there straight away. And that uses a lot of the island, and that's pretty cool. Maintenance guy's probably not going to make it all the way. Okay, we'll see where we go. We give them the one piece of path so that they don't waste any time with wherever they're going and whatever they're doing. Now, we could give them a storehouse as well for any potential overflow, I suppose. So this storehouse will accept wine. It doesn't necessarily need to get wine, but it will accept wine. Yeah, in fact, we don't want to put it on get, because these guys selling the wine won't grab off of it otherwise. And then, trading post at the far side, maintenance post at the far side, and some wineries. So, unemployed people is currently 33. We've probably sunk into that quite a lot with these buildings already. But 100 people are coming, so that's fine. So, we have 4 Growers Lodges. That means at least 4 wineries. 1, 2, 3... Or the fantasy was to have it along here, right? So everyone's doing a bit of the trip. They do this bit of the trip. They do this bit of the trip. They do this bit of the trip. They're all passing the parcel along. So we're in debt a little bit here. So we'll do 4. There, we'll do that. 6 wineries, 4 growers' lodges, but there'll be efficient growers' lodges with lots of grapevine that they can grab. So that's an export industry going straight away. Another export industry I'm interested in is fleece, but for now we need to use all of the fleece for ourselves. I'm actually a little bit concerned that we'll be running out soon. But we'll see what they got. A helping hand. Oh my god, this is... I feel like this story is going to be everyone's really nice to us, and then they turn on us, you know? I feel like that's what it's going to be. It's interesting that the appeal there is bad, but we will give you some parks along the back, and that'll be enough for you for now. And we'll figure out what kind of columns we want to surround it with and all that. Do you know what I think would be really cool for the figure of 8? We do like Ionic columns on one half and we do Corinthian on the other, you know, so they have a different vibe. There's a different feeling to them. And again, remember, the palace is going to move. I don't know where, but we'll have more houses filling that up. Oh, look at that. Everyone's basically at olive oil already now. And fleece, we are getting above it just a little bit. Now, there is no number that says you have enough fleece or you don't have enough fleece. So hopefully we're all right. Do you know what I think is interesting here? That he is coming out the front and walking around the house. So what if we remove that and we put it there instead with the road doing with the road doing this and maintenance now comes out here, and the rest can all be grapevine. Why not? There we go. So there's a bunch of grapevine on the inside there now. So now, oh, and then we have to block that bit off there like that. Excellent.
I am Poseidon. Worship me, and the sea will befriend you.
Can we block that bit off as well? So they're really only in that little square. Also, they haven't despawned or anything, right? Well, they might have. Why did it let me place more down? Did we not have all of the sheep in there? We have 2 cards. I might have broken it. I might have broken it with the order that we did this stuff in. I'm not sure. Because that's only 16 in there now, in theory, right? Let's see. We got the cash for it. All right, I'm going to go carding shed, 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 carding shed. Okay, there's a bunch of them. We'll wait till we see shepherds in all of them. Okay, now. Sheep. Spam clicks like mad. Look at how much debt we're going in. But we'll build all the sheep. Okay, there you go. So we're exhausted now. And now we delete the carding sheds. And we'll see whether that worked. That should work. I don't know if we did, because we did something a little bit weird at one point, didn't we? And I'm not sure whether we kind of tricked it or messed it up. Well, there you go. Okay. Oh, that's quite a nice effect now, actually. It's like there's a vineyard with just some animals in the middle of it, weirdly, somewhere. Yeah, if this doesn't work, then this trick from the forum is not a thing, and it's fine, because, you know, we'll just add some more. I do like the whole fence effect, though, because it does keep us safe from these wolves. But if it's not good enough, it does mean we're going to have mass devolution as soon as this fleece runs out. And we have that right now. Oh, actually, culture. These guys have culture issues right now. Well, because the theatre is not working. The drama school has no employees. Oh, because we deprioritized culture like mad, didn't we? All right, well, now that's screwing with us here, so let's put the culture back on. Not low, necessarily. Moderate. It should be normal now. We should be all right. Ugh, I've done that a little bit too late. Food is excellent right now. It's a shame we can't export any of it. All right. In fact, hold on. Just to get this up real quick here, we got to go high culture. Push people into those jobs, especially the gym. There we go. Drama school's there. Are you going to go out? I want to see that walker head on out. Hygiene is very good and improving. Excellent. They're not sending a walker out. Do you think they're too far? No, they only have around half the employees. They're training new actors very slowly indeed. There we go. He's off. Okay, there you go. Right, so we're back up. And now that we're back up, we put culture to a normal level. Okay. It might have actually helped with our fleece shortage in the meantime. I don't know, though. I don't know. Oh, my God. Oh, that's why the trick didn't work. I just saw it happen. A wolf got in there and killed all of our sheep. Oh, that's so much money. He's just ruined it. Oh. All right. Okay, guys, I think on this occasion, this is going to be a part 1, part 2 type situation. I will see you on the next part as we continue. We're not going to get the oath done in one episode here. We're just not. So I will join you for the conclusion of. I will see you for the conclusion of the oath in the next episode. Where again, I want to get the Promontory of Poseidon up. I might even get the Gates of Hades going straight away. So we're getting the drachma because we need that cushion of money. So still many adventures ahead here. And I will see you for the... Hopefully we'll finish the figure of 8 as well. Find a proper place for the palace, all that good fun stuff. And hopefully stabilize a little bit here. And now that I know that the wolves are killing our guy, this is such a cool setup. But I think we're going to have to change it. How would we change it? Well, okay, the last thing we might be able to do... Alright, I've got an idea for what we can do. Maybe you can think of it too. But you'll have to see that on the next episode. Thanks very much for watching, guys. See you soon.
The buildings that I bless will produce an abundance of goods. Become barren at my touch, my olive trees. I am pleased to provide this city with my favorite fruit and this wholesome oil. I am Athena Polias, protector of the city. Suffer the consequences of your evil intent. Worship me. Coming forth from my father's head was no mean feat.